What's up, everyone? All right. Share screen. Good morning, everyone. All right, you guys ready? You guys hear me? Mic check. See my screen. Discord sees it. Mic check on Discord. All right, cool. YouTube, you guys hear me? Yeah, YouTube should be working. All right. So, yeah, let's see what we got going on today. Yep, news in about 10 minutes here. You have unemployment claims 8:30, and I think they are expecting actual less than forecast is good. So I think this is more, right, than forecasted or in previous. So could it be less than forecast, or could it be good numbers? Wait, sorry, I'm confused. Actual less than forecast is good. Could it be bad numbers, right? If numbers come out above 215. So we'll find out in 10 minutes. Anyways, we're not gonna take any buy stops, or let me just swap this over here. No, that's better. It's my live chat app. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're not gonna take any buy stops or sell stops on the opening or anything. We're just gonna wait for price to settle in, right? Wait for numbers to come out, wait for price to settle in, and then we'll go off of that, right? We'll just see what price can do from there, and then see this volume or anything. So let's open the charts up. This is the best part of the day because you don't know what happened during Asian or London. You kind of hop on, you're like, it's like a surprise. If it's gonna be like a longer day. Oh, nice, you're actually moving. Nice. Yeah, so you're already moving here, right? So yeah, this is good. This is very good. Compared to yesterday, at least yesterday volume was we gave it a 5 out of 10. Today looks like you could get moves earlier. We'll see how long this lasts for, but yeah, it's pretty decent. I think you can just start off with marking up our ranges here. So you had this move down on Monday, right, this week, and then you kind of pull back, and then you create some type of mini range in this area, right? And that's kind of where you were stuck yesterday overnight, or NY and just Asian London overnight. And then finally you are breaking out for the first time here. So a couple ways you can look at it. Like the way that I was kind of viewing it throughout the week was we had this massive move down, right? And then you had a range. You're still bearish. I know all-time high overall you're bullish, right? Your all-time highs, but in terms of current, what you see on this screen right now, not what happened 2 weeks ago, not what happened last month, but what you see right now, this structure shows it's bearish, right? Going from here, 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 right? So you can see over here, especially when you were creating the ranges, you were also respecting the previous high each time, right? So you're still respecting structure. I would have liked to see if you could have came up, broke the highs first, and then came back into the range. That would have been nice, because then this is just your liquidity / lower high for you to kind of rip down, right? But you kind of just shift it down here from there, which is okay, right? This is the first breakout. So with news coming out in about 6 minutes here, we'll see if this is gonna correct itself, right? Because it could still do that. Remember, overall, like you're bullish, right? Overall, like going from like 0 to 5,000. But I think from like here, if you were to come back up and correct the ranges, and then you were to kind of hold these zones and create more higher lows, this is like your steepest higher low, your liquidity one. This is your next higher low, and you continue up, right? That's if you shift back into the range, of course. News could help that, but if you don't, and price decides to like just pull back and like continue holding the ranges, then as news comes out, news brings us more volume, we can look for more ideas for continuation on price, right? Maybe even wick entry sells today, because remember yesterday, wick entry sells or wick entry buys wasn't really an option for us because there was no direction. Today looks like this move could lead to direction. So when you get direction, which I'm assuming would be below for sells 5,000, below these ranges, below there, you can start looking for wick entry sells as you pull back, right? Pullbacks, wick entry sells to continue. And then same thing for the buys. Like if you, I will say like directionally, like if this were to be bullish, this will take quite a minute, but I'm assuming probably like somewhere above here, right? Above like 5,320 or something like that. At that point, you're like directionally bullish. So you can start applying like wick entry buys. But until then, I think this is very important here. What happens here, right? After the first breakout, on price here, we're trying to figure out now, like, okay, well, is this candle going to continue, stay below to continue, or is it gonna shift back into the range, right? So that's what we'll find out today. 3 minutes for news here. I'm just gonna mark up like the basic zones, the overall zones, right? So just understand like the ranges where we're kind of sitting, and then we'll go from there. All right, so 5216, that's gonna be somewhere over here. Got something here. Is it there? Not there. Maybe here. Let's move this up as well here. Let's wait up towards here. That'll make it a lot better. Let's see, what could I use here? So, you know, overall we could maybe use 506, 5070. Yeah, I think around here. Just like an overall zone. Like I don't think there's like that zone doesn't really mean like sells below or anything. It's just like to mark up to visually see your ranges. 5076 right there. And then you have like you have something around here. 5105. Or you know what? Draw that over here first because that's the previous break back into the range, right? Somewhere around those lines. Something there. Because if that breaks back into the range and that flips, right? So we'll leave that there. I think I'll leave that as this. Like, there's nothing too significant in this year in these areas, right? It's kind of just within this range here, and you start breaking up. So we're not looking for wick entry sells here, right? This isn't bearish enough. We're not looking for continuation of sells here because we don't know if this is gonna continue. It's a first breakout that can lead to a fake out. So yeah, I'll leave this line here in case like if you were to stay above here, there's a chance you can flip. If you flip on price, this kind of can flip bullish, make its way up towards 5226, and then from above there, we'll see what happens after. But yeah, and then 50, 76, 920 is like your next support zone. So I mean, price can already reacted there. Right, if that were to continue breaking, then we'll look for more ideas. I'm assuming it would be below within these areas here, but I want to see how you react here first. This 5134 zone is going to be pretty important. How much was this move down? This was 780. 5226, 5076. 5076. Okay, 5076, and then 5134. That's cool. All right, so yeah, I think we'll leave it as that, and we'll see what happens here. What happens for news? Let me just activate this trade copier thing. All right. So yeah, that's the day. We'll see what price gives us today. But so far, looking a lot better than yesterday, right? It looks like there's a higher chance you'll get some volume today, some continuation. Should we buy it now? Hold on, before I read this, see what's happening here. What the fuck is that? I want to grab water. Yeah, you had like some volume like before. Just when we hopped on like around 8:15. A little bit of volume, just a little bit. Should we buy now or after news? I don't know. I don't know. How do you know it's gonna be a buy? How do you know it's gonna be a sell? I don't know. 2 days in a row. All right, man. Tomorrow's end of piece, so it might be 3 days. I use wick as one color. In my case, I use black color with white background because the zone is one color respected by both sides. Yeah, I mean, whatever works for your mental. If you can use custom look at 12 hour, there's a solid respect the zone on both sides, all hours still respecting the zone. The great thing about using time frames is that you could use whatever time frame you want, and it's gonna show you the same results on all time frames. You're not gonna see the exact same candles, but if you could learn to read candles backwards, you're gonna see the same shit on the 12 hour versus like the, I don't know, like the 50 hour, right? If you can just break down the candles in reverse, it's the same thing. Because like you look, let's take the last 12 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? That's the last 12 hours. If you were to draw it out, start over here, you probably look something like this right now. You're probably bearish, so you're like this. This is the 12-hour candle, right? That's how it looks. 12-hour candle has no top wick, right? That's this set of 12-hour candles right here. So that's that. Our next set of 12-hour candles, how's that gonna look? So let's go ahead and draw it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So you start opening, I guess, around here. This also closed bearish. Wait, no, this closed bullish. Right? You got something like that. All right? These are your last 12-hour candles. So it's a bullish candle. That's how it looks. Maybe this wick is a little lower. Last 12, right? You can go over here. Go to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So that's a bullish candle. I think that's the doji, right? That should look something like this. right? Something like that. That should be like a doji because that's it started up here. Or no, that's not a doji. This is last 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. So that should look like this, right? And this one I think is off. This one opened up down here, so this is bearish. I think I got these reversed. Opened up here. So let's see. Open, close, high, low, right? So let's go there. This should be bearish. Like that. I think this one's off too. This one is open. Still open right now, but that's the body. Low, and that's the high, right? So I think this one is I'm tripping. This one is doji. All right, that should be like a doji because this came up back up again. I didn't see that. And then this over here is the bearish one. So then this looks like this. All right, so that should be, I think, your last 12 hours right here. Your last 3 12-hour candles, right? Something like that. Like this, the middle one's a doji. This one was bullish, right? Because this one opened up over here. Made a low. Sorry, opened up here. Made a high. Made a low. Close around here, right? So that's kind of that. And then this one's like the doji. Opened up around here and closed right there. So bearish doji. And this one started here, and then it's still open. This little wick here is probably gonna be a little lower, right? To match up with this low, so something like that. All right, and then you got like, if you keep going, I think over here you're gonna have like over here. So these are the last 12, right? And then over here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, so that's a lot. So you opened up here. That's also your, yeah, that's your high. No top wick. That's your low. And then this is your close, which means that you got something like this, right? I'm guessing it's something like this. This is probably a gap or something here. Low, close, something like that. Something like that. And then you got like this 1 hour respecting, right? This is like your area that you're kind of respecting here. I think I fucked up somewhere over here. But this is your opening, this is your low, and this is your close. Yeah, it should be like a bearish no top wick, right? Maybe I counter wrong, but something like that. And then this is like your zone, right? So like overall, like it's like similar to this area right here in the 1 hour time frame too, or the 4 even. You look at the 4, you can see it too. It's like this is the zone that you're probably looking at, right? This 5-1 33 zone. And that's a very important zone too. Like that's also the daily flip here. So that's area that you've been kind of like hovering around the last couple of days, even like before, like from end of February, we were kind of like hovering here, rejecting off of here too. Came back down, corrected it, and then you're still hovering here. So yeah, clearly something is like pretty strong here, that 5-1 33 zone. So that's why like this first move down too, I was also like, I don't know what this thing is gonna lead into now, right? Because this can just be like a lower high to continue down. This can flip on the one. This can close bearish, respecting the 1 hour time from that 5133 zone. And if it does all of that, then you can just any given point like just correct the entire thing and make your way back up, right? But this was like the very first move of the day. So if you hop into the charts today at like 8 and then you saw this and you're like, oh, I couldn't get anything. It was the first move, right? You're gonna have like plenty of ideas and ranges and stuff that you can grab, but you don't have to grab the first move, right? Even if the first move here was like 800 pips, right? That's nothing. Just wait for more opportunities, right? If they present. No, man. Camera froze. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this, guys. Give me a second. Yo, the camera does freeze though whenever we get into a trade. Always, I don't know why. Only like when we get into a trade, it just starts like glitching and freezing. Should be good now. We've been together since 2023. I haven't watched you in about 2 years. Had some stuff going on. Nice to see you back. Can you stop making this noise, please? What, the pen? Sorry. Getting used to being here again feels really good, man. Thank you, man. I'm glad. I was actually watching some. I got inspired to come back when I was watching some like sports type shit. Like he runs like a podcast every day for like just the Leafs. And I was watching him and I was like, damn. So like I really be looking forward to his streams every day. Cause like it becomes like part of your routine, right? Like he goes live at like 12. He just talks about the Leafs and shit. Like the team that I watch for hockey. And then yeah, it goes live at 12 every day, Monday to Friday at 12 from like 12 to 2. And I was watching and I was like, and this when I was off stream, I was like, this is how it feels to like, look forward to something every day because it just becomes part of your routine. So then that kind of inspired me to come back. I have the same stats as you for Xauusd, where I can share this to the community so I can find our same price action trader like me, total 300 trades, more accurate. I think you should I don't know, make your own community where it kind of shares to the community. Yeah, make your own community, make your own community and see if people see what you can do with that. What's up, Penzo? What's your analysis in gold? We're just waiting to see what happens here. This 5133 zone is kind of like chopped right now, so I want to see if it holds. All right, so you see how it's just kind of struggling here a little bit. So it's gonna make a decision on where it wants to go next, and then off of that decision, it's gonna lead to more information for us that we could use here. So we're not too far from ideas, but still a couple things that need to happen. What's up, Ellis? Do you have a Telegram? No, we have a Discord though. K Mountain, what's up? You're back again. Yo, K Mountain, how long have you been here for? Cause I don't know if I saw you yesterday, but I'm like, have I seen a K Mountain in my chat before? But it sounds like you've been here for months, like for years actually, for like 2-3 years at least. Still living the Thai life, thanks to Don. Oh, you're still there. I forgot you're still there. Thai Space Cadet, man. You're gonna hop in that pool? I'm OG 3 years. Why don't I remember? Did you change your name or something? Ezekiel, I remember you. What's up? Yeah, I said 2022, 2023. Taught you so much, man. Wait till the year's over. Wait till the year's over. If you continue to stream the whole year, it will be like there should be a lot of like updated stuff. What is the things that I need to do first before entering a trade, and when can I spot a trade? I think you just have like a little checklist, right? So before you even like get into a trade, you want to make sure you open up Forex Factory or any news website. Check out what news you have today. So today we had news at 8:30, right? So those times are very important, because you don't want to be in a trade and not knowing that there's something coming out that could change that direction of that trade, change the bias. So check Forex Factory, and then what I do is I go on my charts, right? So MT5 or TradingView, and then you mark up your ranges, right? Mark up like the overall ranges, and when you mark those ranges, don't think about if you can buy above there or like sell below there, right? That's like 2020 stuff. Don't do that. What you want to do is, you want to mark up the ranges as to just kind of map out where you're focused on, right? So if my focus is like 5226, 5076 for now, right? As the session goes on, those things change. Mark up those overall ranges, and then I mark up micro zones, right? So minor zones. So like zones that are like in between that could have an effect. So I saw that 5134 could be an issue, because in the past that's where you kind of rejected off of, and I saw that this was the range that you're in. So if you were to break out and come back and retest, or come back and pull back towards that area, this is a zone you could struggle at, right? Either struggle breaking through or struggle to reject back down. But we don't know, right? Still don't know. So I do that, and then after that, I open my playbook, right? At this point, it's kind of like I have a good idea of it, but look at your playbook, and then before you look for your playbook, actually, you want to mark up you want to use drive range liquidity, right? So for me, it's like I'm trying to identify what part of the market cycle you're in today. So overall, like you had like last week, you had like this drive here in price, and then you had this range, right? So what part of the cycle we're in right now? There's only 3 cycles. It's the same 3 cycles all the time: drive, range, or liquidity. Today, I'll see this as liquidity because you had a range, and maybe this range could be a little less. So something like this is the range. This could be liquidity, right? We don't know if there's gonna be liquidity to go up today, or we don't know if this is gonna just continue down, right? But then that's why these zones help. So then for me today, I think I'll start hunting for ideas like below 5076, right? As you make your way down below there, I'll then pull up my playbook and look for ideas below there, because below there, that's when like structure breaks, right? So like that's just strategy. Like your strategy could be different. You don't gotta look at drive range liquidity, these breakouts or whatever, right? But just overall, like make sure you at least like open Forex Factory and then mark up your ranges, and then just sit down and think for a second, like what is price gonna do today? What is the direction of price? What's the bias? Ask yourself those questions, and then as the session goes on, you gather more info, right? You don't always have to hop on and then find a trade and hop off. Like you don't gotta overfarm the markets, right? You just gotta hop on, mark up your ranges, wait for price to push, wait for price to move, wait for things to be a lot more digestible, like easy to read, and then that's when you kind of want to start hunting, right? Like for us yesterday, we sat through 3 hours no hunting on stream because there was nothing close. Today, we're a little closer, but once you make your way down below 7.6 here, right, or maybe above like 5226 even, we don't know which one yet, we'll start hunting, open up our playbook and looking for ideas. But that's only when those things break, right? But a lot of the times you're just kind of sitting here with like nothing going on. Like you're not really thinking of anything. I'm not really thinking of like what can happen here, right? You want to just like let that move, and then once it actually pushes above your territories, like your zones, that's when you want to start hunting for trades. Oh, when you get into a trade too, another key thing, make sure you always mark up, predetermine what you're gonna do. So when you get into a trade, let's say you get into a buy, make sure you have your TP set, your break even set, or your stop loss set, and then make sure you have a break even zone, right? Where you're gonna go BE at. Sometimes it could be quick, right? So the moment it taps that zone, you're gonna go BE. And then also make sure you have a trail stop loss zone. But these are things that you want to have before you get into a trade. Like literally before you click buy or sell, have these things set on price. So let's say we take a sell here, right? My BE zone would be like maybe around here, because there's been like a lot of areas here, rejections. So that's going to be like what? Like, 50 pips, something like that, 30 pips. My trail stop loss could be like below here. So usually that's a bit more aggressive for me, below here because of this area. And then my TP, let's say it's here, right? And my stop loss, let's say, is like somewhere up there. I can't even see it. That's how big the stops is. But as you make your way down, right? The moment it taps that first area, boom, break even, no hesitation, right? You don't want to hesitate when you're in the trade. You want to just instantly do it. And then next zone, trail stops, boom, done, set, right? But the moment you hesitate is the moment you start thinking, and that could really fuck you up. You want to make sure that's also set too. And yeah, that's it. That's kind of just the routine for me, at least, every day. Can you give examples? If we get into I'll give you a live example when we get into a trade. You also close partial. No, I don't. Yeah, that's another thing too. We don't close partials no more. We just close. I close full of my position. So I close full where I trail stop loss, but we don't close half no more. So I think, yeah, like 2023, we used to close half. 2022, after 2024, 2025, I'll say we started just to trail. And it's been better. It's been like pips wise and better, and just like securing a better percentage. It's been a lot better than closing half. Because when we close half, we'll be like close another half, close another half, close another half. Like just let it run. If it runs, it runs. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Also, another thing too is we've been I'll say getting TP tapped a lot more often. So before it'll be like maybe 10% of the time we get TP tapped. I think now we're like 30%, 35% of the time our TP gets tapped. We have like a more accurate TP. I don't know because we're waiting for a more accurate trade, but TP has been getting hit, right? So you see, these are our previous trades here. Just trail stop loss, trail stop loss, trail stop loss. Like this trail stop loss being hit, or BE being hit, right? And then scenarios over here. All right, so I mean TP hits like a pretty, I'll say, okay, maybe not 30% of the time, but a lot more than previous. There's a time period where it just kept hitting though, hit. Right, that was in November or something. Right, so I mean, yeah, TP, and I don't know, it might be more just accurate, waiting for better trades, or I think before we used to just put runners just for the sake of runner. Like I'll put like 500 runner, knowing that, you know, I'm not gonna get that. It was more so just to like kind of make the RR look a little better on stream. But I'll tell you blatantly right now, our stop loss is gonna be today, like, I mean, for sure more than 700 pips probably, right? I don't know what we're gonna get into, but assuming like, it won't be how much you move on that previous like hour candle. So you just adjust your lot sizes. That's it, right? Bigger stop loss, adjust your lots. Yeah, that doesn't change, right? Your risk percentage. I was checking play V2. Good job. I have one question regarding structure. If market structure is bullish or bearish for the candles, use wicks or to close. For closures, I use the bodies. But yeah, for closures, I use the bodies to see if the market structure is bullish or bearish. To see if the market structure is bullish or bearish, I use just the candles. Like today, like look at this. What do you think this is right here? What do you think? What do you think this is? Right. So if you can just kind of draw it, trace it, right? Just start tracing it. Do this. Do all of this. Right. And then you can just go over here. Just do all this, right? And what do you see? Right? So it's like this came down, right? So it's downtrend. And then this is like lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, right? So this structure is, I'll say, more bearish structure right now. Yeah, this huge drop too. On a different time frame, it's gonna look a lot less messy. So it might look like just this on the small time frame. On a higher time frame, like let's say this is like this is like maybe hour time frame. On like the daily or weekly or daily or 4, you might see this instead, because this is just overall just one top wick, one low, one high, right? So you are making like a low, lower highs, and currently in the middle of the range, but this could come down to make a lower low. Yeah, playbook is out. Playbook is free. That is out. That's been out for a couple months now. Haven't really pushed it. I think I was just kind of waiting to see like what I was doing for the year. But now I think I have an idea. But yeah, playbook is out. 30 minute close leg candle. Yeah, you're right. How much is this? 130 pips. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Looks pretty decent. It looks like you held 34 for now. This thing is just coming down 200 pips here, right? So let's see. 2 minutes for a 4 close. How's the 4 gonna close? 4 hours gonna close bearish, below the range. Yeah, so you could still get a top wick. I think so. Ideas for me are more so below 50.66 here, but yeah, the opening has a wick fill, so maybe that can get filled quick. You also have a missing 1 hour top wick. I know someone asked about, should I get out of my buys, right? What's your analysis, right? Because I don't know where price is gonna do here. I generally don't know. Like I know you have a wick fill. I also know that you have a range here that you could be closing below, right? But you also have no top wicks here, and you can still get something like this that can happen on the opening of the candle, a top wick, or even this right here overall could be the start of something where you create a higher low. This could be your liquidity, right? This broke below the range, fake out back into the range to continue up. This could literally be that too. So what was your stop loss, and like what are you looking, what was your original idea? What's the main website? 8am East, 8ameast.com. Everybody get locked at the new style. I know. It's good. Like I like how we just develop a lot of it in Divas 01 though, just like super locked in. I know it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good for just everyone to kind of see. Cause I'm like, there's no way I can teach this, without doing one stream a month. There's no way. It's just too much info and just too much of like to keep up with. Cause you have to see more examples, right? And we get like what 3 trades a week. So what are the chances that that one stream you can get a trade to start? You're going back to big account stream? I don't think so. This is gonna be my stream account. Reminds me of Virgil Abloh free game that he put out. I know exactly what you're talking about. The how to put the how to make clothes. Yeah, that website's sick. That's memories though. I used to go on that and just when I wanted to make my own cologne brand back then. That's when I was like 18. I was like, yeah, RIP to Virgil. Yeah, and we're gonna add more stuff to it. We're gonna add more stuff to the playbook for sure, or to the website in general. Like obviously some color and stuff, but I like just showing the progression of it. But I think it's pretty good. It's pretty clean to read. As long as it's easy to understand, like that's all that matters. Yeah, so there's four chapters and playbook up here. Want the full chart. Can just go through it. But you need to apply this stuff too, and I think that's the part where it might be more confusing to beginners because they wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Or you need to learn to apply it. So I'm like, I figured a stream would help put it all together. This is reading counts backwards, right? Like you even have it here. So as the time frame gets shifted lower, more candles start to print. But you can see the general like structure is there. Right, so earlier about the 12-hour example, for instance, right? It's like imagine this is 12-hour, or this is like the 1 hour, and this is the 12-hour time frame, right? It's kind of just you can see the structure is kind of there. Vivette, all right, man. All right, guys, you have a 4-hour close here. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's gonna happen here still, but 51354 was like the area you reject off earlier, but you can see like how long it spent its life coming down, right? Like did everything it could, and then all of a sudden this counter just did it within like one push, corrected it. So what's gonna be more strong today, right? We still don't know. We had that overall push at 8:15 earlier before news came out, and then slowly pulled back, range. So this right here, we're about to see if this is gonna correct the entire thing to retest the lows at like 50.76, or if this is gonna shift back up. And if it does shift up, that's a lot more info for us, right? So you're just trying to get as much info until like all your confluences align. But any movement from now on, like that's not in the range, should be more info. You break up above the range, that's more info. That can be a fake out to continue down, right? It just opens up the doors for a lot more ideas. That can be higher low to continue up. But yeah, that's all we're waiting for. But I know for a fact this range here I likely won't be part of, right? Between like 5134 and like 5100. I don't think we're doing much here. Scalper or swing? I think I consider myself, what do you call it? Scalper. Where is the, because I mean our trading time is pretty short. Yo, Penzo, where is it again? How did I check the stats thing? Report their view. Oh, right here. Oh yeah, right here. So yeah, you can see like my my average trade hold right here, right? 35 minutes. So yeah, 35 minutes on average. Is that even accurate though? Like I feel like we have so many minute trades, 30-second trades, 1-minute trades. But I'll say a scalper, right? Like I'll say a scalper. Like we just get in and get out usually within the same session. Yeah, a lot of our trades are majority shorts, so 68% shorts trades and 52% long trades. Win rate 84.70. That's accurate, right? Yeah, that should be accurate. And just gold, just one pair. I'm not sure what this stuff means. Average profit, average loss. Mass consecutive losses, 2. Mass consecutive wins, 29. Best trade, 237. And then worst trade is 1,066. And that was in January. Yeah, we had very long draw. Yeah, that I think maybe that's why, because sometimes the draw is like 8 hours, and yeah, it covers up for the rest. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, those drawing days. No, I'm not swinging. I'm scalping. If I was swinging, I'll be in a position right now, holding, right? If I was swing trading, I'll be in position and holding right now. So there won't be no point of the NY session. I'm scalping, so I mean, as we stream, we'll get more examples and ideas. If you guys enjoying the stream, leave a like, sub to the channel. Let's get to 200K subs. You think it's possible? Yesterday we had 417 peak viewers and 88 subs. Right? That's just from streaming. It's gonna take some work, but 200K subs could be I think achievable with time. Just gotta figure out the long form content stuff. But I think that's pretty possible. Thank you, man. What's up, Nectar? What else do you have today? Hey, do you guys use any journal apps or softwares to journal? Sorry, but what's the delay on YouTube here? I want to see. What's the delay? Look at my time and look at your time. What's the delay for you guys? Maybe try refreshing before you do it. I know Discord has no delay. It's like instant. 7 seconds? Yeah, man, that trade is gonna be, by the time you get in, time we're out. Nah, 4 seconds. Should be let's see what I said. I think I put the lowest. No, it's on low latency. Yeah, it's on low latency. It's not on super low though. What is your account size, bro? Mine's 250. Mine is 2,151. I've been trading this account for a year. Almost a year, I think. 4 seconds, 7 seconds. In the process of developing, what did you guys say? Notion? Notion is that good? Yeah, Notion's pretty good. No one uses like Trezilla or like Trezilla. I think that's all the only one I know. I'm in the process of developing a free trading journal website. I feel like we're missing a good one in this industry. Like I Trezilla one? Are you in a buy ready or no? No, you see my screen right here? Nothing. No positions. If I was in the trade, you'll see it right here. Trade and profit or net loss. I like this though. This is starting to move a little bit. You see how you're starting to create like you see how you're starting to create like lower highs here? right? This isn't bad. There could be ideas on the way down before 5100. I want to see how much volume comes in here, but it looks pretty good. Do you have any more news for today? We have 1030 natural gas. That's about it, right? So yeah, this is actually not too bad. I'm starting to pick up in volume here. So let's see if this could break the lows again and then shift back up for a lower high. But you want to see this break the lows to at least like 5106 here, and then you want to see a pullback. And if that pullbacks and comes back down to re-break, that could be something. You have a 15 leg candle here that just closed, so you do want to see that come down and come back up for a retest or lower highs, right? It can drop without doing that, right? It can drop without doing that, but that's what I want to see to confirm that this is going to head down, especially with the 15 closing the way it did. And then you have a leg candle, so a leg candle can literally just come back and retrace like this, right? And if that were to happen, that's good too, because if you were to retrace and then come back down, then that's your steepest lower high, meaning that you came all the way up to break all of the highs to the left here, right? And then you come back down, it's like that should be pretty directional, right? At least down towards the wick fill, and that could be something we can look forward to, right? So it's getting a little better here, but still requires a couple more things to occur before we look for those ideas. The 4 is open, right? 1 is open. You have a huge wick fill. This wick fill is like 370 pips on the 4 and the 1, I think. Yeah, 370. So it's pretty good. That's pretty good. What's your target at the end of the day? I don't have a target. You don't want to have targets in trading. Targets are like for funded accounts, right? Unless you have a funded account, it's different. You need to make certain. Actually, some funded accounts only have time limits, but like having a target is just like applying unnecessary pressure. Like why would you want to have a target when the chart hasn't given you an opportunity to even trade it, right? Like at that point, you're trading blindly. You're trading with your heart, not with your eyes, right? Not what you see. You're trading with what you think, or not what you think, but with your heart. Your heart desires that you need to make 2% for the day, because you make that 2%, then it just feels better. It's just like I reached my goal. It makes you feel good, right? But in trading, it's a little different. Like you're not always guaranteed a trade opportunity. You're not always going to be guaranteed profits. Sometimes you're gonna have losing days. So I don't like to have targets because I don't know if I'm gonna have a trade. I don't know what the market's gonna present, right? So yeah, I kind of go in the day just like hoping to follow my plan, and the rest just comes naturally. Over time, the profit just comes, but you don't want to put that as your main priority for the day. Looks like a nice sell down. Yeah, this thing is moving here. So yeah, I want to see if it can come down towards this 06 zone, and then now I want to see if it can pull back, right? Because you have a little bit of volume coming in here. So I want to see if this can pull back towards, like, I'll say here, 5117, and then I want to see if it can re-break the lows, and that needs to be in one motion, because look what you have on the 15 leg candle, and that's a 15 leg candle body reaction, right? So a leg candle is just not always gonna print the same way, but usually what the leg candle will come with is a correction of the wick fill, right? So you usually will come up the next candle looking like this. Doesn't always happen, but it's something that we've seen occur like maybe 65% of the time. So that's enough for us to like wait for something to avoid that, right? So for me, that's like in this case, waiting for a top wick and then waiting for it to come back down and retest the lows within like one motion. So look, you got a top wick here, right? Didn't tap 17. That's fine. But that's also not a trade for me, right? On any of these lows yet. Next zone you have is going to be, I think, 5, what is this? 50, 94. So that's going to be somewhere down here. Next zone. So the next zone you can like hover at, right? Will be right there. So yeah, 10 minutes for NYC as well. I mean, we can still get a trade beforehand, right? But you need these prices to move a certain way here. Let's see. What is 5133? 34 was there. Five 139. Let's move this up a little bit. 5117. Nothing. Oh, it's just a top wick zone, right? And 94, yeah. So this should be all right. Buy stops and sell stops? No, I can't. Every time I use a buy stop and sell stop, because I have a trade copier, right? So it copies to my other accounts and all of that. So if I put a buy stop and a sell stop, there's always some fuckery going on. Like there's always like I get slipped or it doesn't even enter the position, or sometimes it enters two positions. It's fucked. So I just like market X all the time. Even when we have like a re-breakout lows, we'll market X. But you're not gonna see some shit like, oh guys, I'm getting in now, right? You're gonna see like, you know, I'm gonna warn you guys like, oh, like you'll know when I'm getting into a trade because I'll talk about it, and then I'll start talking about like where I'm gonna manage risk at and all of that before getting into it. But I'm not just gonna sit here and be like, oh, that looks good, boom, right? That's not how you should approach it. But yeah, there's a little delay though, so that's the only thing. But I'll try to be as early as possible. So still struggling here. It's hovering, right? So nothing too consistent yet. It looked like it was gonna push. I'm sure us back in like 2023 would have taken that sell position for sure, and maybe would have been and got something off of it because it did move like 58 pips. So I don't know, maybe it would have been a W, but today's conditions and with how we are today, I don't think that was where we wanted to enter. I do like the 30 though. 30 looks good in terms of like these lower highs here, and you got another lower high here. So that looks pretty good, but we're close. Still need a couple more things to occur. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? What are you seeing? Maybe. Could get a 5139 tap and then a re-breakout lows back below 5094 later for us to get ideas. Look how long it took to kind of come down, right? So let's see what happens here. This is the first break above the range, so you can kind of treat this right now as like a mini range here, mini fake out. Right, mini range here. This can come back into the range and do all of that, or it could come back up, correct it. Maybe we gotta do that sim again, right? Didn't I say end of quarter one we're doing a sim again? In Discord. End of quarter one is end of the month. So yeah, I mean I'll do one. We'll do one maybe end of the month in April, beginning of April again, and then yeah, we'll do one every quarter. I think last one I said that counted as this way. I'm just gonna count that as last year's quarter. So yeah, we'll just do one every quarter. Yeah, I didn't save last time, so we gotta do a new sim. It's fun though. We'll do it on a Saturday again or something. Do hobbies? Hockey, sim racing. Hockey, sim racing. Hockey, sim racing. Business, trading. That's about it, I think. Same old hobbies. Clothes. That's about it. That's all that's in my head. Yeah. I rotate them though. I rotate them. Yo, Nectar, you gotta get iRacing, man. You gotta get that. You have the wheel ready. You have VR. You gotta get iRacing or like LMU or something. Does anyone in the chat play iRacing? No, you gotta get iRacing, bro. You have to. I mean, you're a car dude. I don't know if you watch racing, but bro, you'll get hooked for sure. Type racer. Yeah, I'm good too at that. I type like 60 words per minute. Maybe 68 at most. Slow typer. I'm looking for sells. What do you think? I think you have a 4-hour wick fill there. So that could be like a overall idea of what can happen. I don't know if we're ready yet to move down. So I'm still waiting too. I'm still waiting to see this comes up towards 139 or anything here before doing anything else. Hold on. Maybe. No wick entry sells. But yeah, I'm trying to see if you get a top wick here. iRacing something serious? Yeah, it's serious, but it's pretty chill, man. Like once you get used to it, once you get over the honeymoon phase of it, it's pretty chill. But it's serious in terms of like it's real ranking, right? You're ranking against like real drivers out there. Like Max is on there. Like all the F1 drivers are on there. Alonso, all of them. Antonelli, Bortoleto, all of them. But I don't know if it's the most realistic. It's just like the best ranked racing game. I think realism maybe I think LMU right now. Yeah. You gotta copy, yeah, it's you gotta pay for a subscription though, and then you gotta buy each car, each track. And then if you don't pay your monthly subscription, you're gonna lose all of your track, or you don't get to race your tracks until you resign. Yeah, you should get it, man. It's fun. And VR looks great. Looks good on it too. Like I think I got like you can get like I think peak is 90 with the MetaQuest. Assetto, yeah, the original Assetto with the mods. But the thing is, you can't really race anybody on it. Unless the description. Yeah, they charge arm and a leg, but it's cause like they take it seriously. So like if you like crash into someone like on purpose, they'll ban you and then you just lose all of your access. So I guess they just want you to pay a high price so you can join like all the other racers. I don't know. It's fun though. Do you have a prop firm challenge? No, I don't. I don't. Not at the moment, at least I don't. Yeah, I saw T-Jobs, nothing to profitable. I'm like, I want to stream again. Yeah, he's with Timmy, no? What's his name? Timmy? Funny, last April I was gonna do a subathon on Twitch. We were talking about it last like in like I think May. We are gonna do it in May, but then I'm like, you know what? I thought I stopped streaming on Twitch. But we're gonna do a subathon, a pipathon. We call it a pipathon. I stream 24/7, and then I trade like my New York, Asian, and I'll sleep during London on stream and all of that. And that's what we are gonna do last year in May. And we're this close to doing it, but I wanted to wait till I was back on YouTube. Maybe we'll do it here sometime. But yeah, we were like Pipathon. We've been sick. That was like when everyone was doing a subathon, right? Last year. Are you gonna be dealing on YouTube? I think so. 15 closing leg candle. Could be 2 back to back. Yeah, this 15 right here, one. This came up here. It's like you can see a little bit of structure breaking, all right? And he came back down pretty quick. So more volume coming in, and that's good. See this can like come all the way down here. Sorry, no pen, my bad. I forgot the mic picks it up. What's up, man? NYC, hello? Did we have 1 trade this week? Or 2? 1. 1 trade this week. Oh, what is this? One huge candle going up. Okay, can you tap 139 here? Earlier I was like looking at the wick entry at 139, but this isn't bearish enough for me to take the wick entry, so I'm just got rid of the idea. But yeah, if you make your way above, like, you're already above 19 here. Let's see if this is a leg candle. But if you can hold this, you can make your way up towards the top of the range. And then the best thing about that is that if it does come down after that, that should be pretty directional. Because why would it want to come down if it came up like that to the top of the range? What's up, man? Nice to see you. So look, you can see here too, like starting to create a bit of structure, right? So these lower highs are still being respected. I know you broke this one earlier, but like I guess this is your new lower high, right? So still holding the overall highs here. But it's just kind of been hovering here. Let's see if this can break the lows now. What is this? So below this area, you have still have that wick fill. Below here, you have 200 pips, 250. Like the more lower highs you have, the better it gets, right? Because each time you come up to make a lower high, it's like it should go up, right? But if it doesn't, continues to hold, then it's just more information, more lower highs. What do you have next? 1 hour closure. Still have a lot of time for the 1 hour closure. This 5 filled that leg candle right away, right? On the 5 and on the 15 too. You have a leg candle, a little small one. So let's see if you can come down and break below here. 5,100. How much is this range though? Still got a lot of range, 230. And worst case, below 50.76, you have more range below there too. How's the day look here? No, it's not bad. Let's see. Let's see how strong this move down is. All right, consistent, pretty consistent. Let's see, can it tap into 94? Or it tapped to 51, right? Let's see if we can push through 94 here. And then I think below 94, what we'll look for is, yes, now it's below 94, right? So just wait for this thing to pull back towards like 51. If it can do that, pull back towards 51, and then come back down and re-break the lows within one motion, you can look for the same sell stop on the re-break. But it needs to be one motion, so you want to see it happen pretty quick. So far pretty good, same motion. Didn't tap 51. I want to see 51 tap here. Still pull back for like 60 pips though. 51, 53, close. That was close. I want to see a little higher than that. Where a hard stop? Oh yeah, good question. Let's see. So this is slowing down. Let's see how if it can tap here. Let's shift this up a little bit. Let's see how you react at 5107 here. Hard stops. Let's see. So if you get the rebreak of lows, I think right here. Is there something here I could use? Yeah, this wick right here probably. So it'll be like 1600. So I think that for us, that's gonna have to be like a 0.04. Same lot size. Yeah, 0.04 probably. So you see how this is taking a lot longer to kind of like come up and then shift back down immediately. So instead of taking the first break of lows here that we wanted to take earlier, a couple minutes ago, we're gonna have to wait for the second rebreak, which is waiting for the break of lows and then waiting for like another pullback. But this time the pullback doesn't have to be like 5100, right? It can just be like 59.6, just like the previous range here. So nothing too crazy, but that should indicate continuation, right? So something like this is what you want to see. Boom, the rebreak of lows, right, which is here, boom and boom, and the rebreak of this probably would be ideas. But it's not going to be the first break because this took 1, 2, 3 minutes to kind of come up. Too long. Not volatile enough. Let's move this. So 5107 got rejected off of. So let's see what happens here. So it's just more structure, right? This right here is another lower high. Also, don't stress if we can't get this too, right? Because you have all of this below. It'd be nice though. So yeah, if you break the lows of 50.90, you probably want to see a pullback to like 50.96. So maybe like a 60 pip pullback once you break the lows, if you break the lows. My camera's gonna freeze, I can tell. Hopefully not during the trade. But yeah, look, see another lower high in the 5. Right, so it's getting a little better. It's not consistent enough yet. Right, why is it still slowing down? Oops. You thought about that zone? Yeah, same zone. So yeah, 1600, which is like our last trade too, but 0.04. 0.4. All right, cool. This is starting to break. This is looking good. So can you break the lows and then pull back towards like 50.96? Or you're gonna rip through. 5's gonna close in about a minute here too. 5 of the leg candle. So didn't re-break the lows yet. All right, came close. And once you break the lows, it could shift through, right? It could be even like a 84 tap. So ourselves could be below 84. Still got that a lot of range though. Let's see what's below 50.76. Below 50.76, you have 50.58. 50.58. Buy close doji. Yeah, it's not a leg candle. That's good. So you want to see the consistent volume here, right? And it's just like it came down decent. It's just I think it could be a bit better than that. But that can also be waiting for below 76, so it might be coming down slow until then. But you can still get a top wick here. You can still get a top wick at 39. It's still possible, right? So we want to limit those possibilities by waiting for confirmations to go against that. And that's why like waiting for these secondary breaks and waiting for to break the lows, like do very specific things because it shouldn't do these things if it were to continue down. So let's see. Is this the push? 15 close bearish here, right? So 15 close pretty decent. 25 pips away from breaking out lows here. Still holding 96 here on the 5. What's up, Biza? $13.99. Thank you, man. Hey Don, good to see you're back on streaming. Thanks for the technical and psychology gems. We're improving profitability. Thank you, man. Thank you for the $13.99. Appreciate it. Only one bills. Bro, start trading already? I can't. My mind doesn't allow me to trade when things are not up to par. It just doesn't. I can't. Like it just doesn't want to press anything. I just can't. I would love to. I can't though. Like I can't. Brilliant website, by the way. Most great by far. Really? I figured a lot of people say it's too bland. It's too like basic. But I like that you see the vision. What broker? I use Blueberry Market, so is it in my bio? I don't think so. But yeah, Blueberry Markets. I should put the link down there actually. I'll do it tomorrow. Up 2% on wheat. Wheat? All right, man. W wheat. All right, so this thing is still kind of hovering here. Still hovering, not glitching. Another thing too is like the longer you sit, right, the more like the first volume that you get, you want to jump the gun. But be patient still, right? Just because you've been waiting X amount of time doesn't mean the first move that you see is gonna be the move. Because a lot of times that's what your mind tells you. You're like, oh, I'm waiting for a trade, and then you start to just subconsciously lower your standards for higher probability trades, And then the first thing you see, you just end up entering, and it's like you just wasted your whole entire morning, right? Because you entered on something you weren't waiting for, when you could have just done that to start the day. But that's another thing too. When, I mean, it's still early here, but like, let's say it gets to like 10:30, right? Like that's when your mind tells you like, oh, I'm waiting so long here, I deserve a trade, right? But kind of gotta learn to separate the two. Thank you, man. You do weed, bro? No. I'll be like falling asleep right now. Where just thoughts be rent position hypothetically. I mean, if we get into the cells below, like somewhere below 87 or something, it's gonna be 1600. Because I usually would use 4-hour structure, so I go into 1 out of 4, right? In this case, I wouldn't put it here at 5209 because it can easily break that high and still come down. That's like, there's no top wicks here on a higher time frame. So I'll manage risk though above there, but hard stops, I think I'll place it up right here, up at that wick. So a little more room, but then I'll manage risk like maybe above here instead. So not here, but here, right? And then this would be my management at 730 pips. So once it closes above there and it creates structure, once it creates structure, I'll get up above there. And the hard stops are above here in case it rips, right? But lately we've been trying to manage our stops. But yeah, 1600. So I know it sounds like high, right? But just adjust your lots. Like if you're using whatever lot size, just adjust your lots to your risk percentage, right? So find like a risk percentage that you're risking and then average it around there. But that shouldn't change, like how much price moves shouldn't change the way you approach the charts, right? It's like, that's why yesterday I was speaking to someone and they're like, I lower my lot size to take a trade. It's like, don't do that, right? Because now you're sacrificing high quality trades just to take a trade with lower lot size. Like there's no purpose in that. There's no consistency in that. There's no longevity in that, right? Because you're just lowering your standards just to take a trade for like a little rush, right? But just wait for that higher probability trade. Same with the stops too. Like just because stops are big, are pips wise, it got bigger, your strategy of where you put your stop should be the same. So it should still be above the same highs, right? Above the current structure high. So with more volume, that would change, right? But you have to adjust and adapt to the markets. And for me, that was just, okay, I got to a point where I couldn't use a fixed lot size no more. I had to adjust my lots based on how big stops are. Because originally in this account right now, 2.1, I'll be using a 0.14 lot size. But I have to go down all the way to a 0.4 because stops are just huge. So I stopped looking at trading in pips too. Like that's another thing we adjusted to. Like starting like last year, we stopped looking at it in terms of pips. Because conditions are going to change over time, right? Maybe one day we might even move quadruple of what we move now, right? It's going to be hard to look at the pips the same way. You want to look at percentages. Pips is like, you know, could mean anything off your risk. All right, man. I drink coffee though. Why don't you trade futures? I never had a reason to. I know like from the US you have to because you can't trade gold, but I'm not from the US, so I could trade gold. I just never had a reason to switch or change it. If I were to switch, I'll go GC, gold, right? But there's no point. At what point do you start to increase your lot size? Just as it grows, like I'm trying to find a better way to do it, but just as it grows, like lately I've been doing like for instance, my last increase was at 2K, and then my next increase would be at 4K probably. But that's gonna change because we've been adjusting our lots anyways. So I'll see. As it increases, you just increase as well, because you want to keep that same risk percentage, roughly. Energy, yeah, I be drinking Red Bull, but sometimes, but it makes me crash. Every time I drink a Red Bull at like 8 p.m., I fall asleep because it's sugar or something. No, gold, please don't do what you did yesterday. Yesterday, we did nothing. We couldn't even do anything. Today, I thought there was a lot more potential. Like today's still looking like a 5 out of 10 day. I wouldn't say a 4 because it's moving decently. You had an early push, but is that gonna be it for the day, right? So we still got, I'll say, an hour here. We'll be here for another 45 minutes. Tomorrow is NFP, so there's a chance it could be holding out for that. Or maybe it can also be priced in today for tomorrow. So maybe it can still move. But we only have an hour to go. And we'll see what we can do. Trade by side? Oh yeah, I remember trade by side. I remember one time I was in I think Xauusd put me in a call with like Sai and a bunch of other traders to do some. We had like a meeting for something that he wanted to run. I remember seeing Sai in there. What are you targeting at the end of the year? Yo, Wilfred, you asked the question twice already. There's no target. I don't target anything. I don't look to target anything. In trading, at least, there's no like, my goal in trading every day is to show up and then be disciplined. That's it. Like, be disciplined, be patient, wait for my opportunities, and I trust that the profits will come naturally from that. But sometimes, you can't just focus on the actual money, right? Or whatever it is. You gotta focus on the things around it. You gotta focus on doing those small things around it, because then those small things add to the big goal, the big thing, which in this case would be the account growth. But you gotta focus on doing the small things, right? So that's the first thing on my mind. Just show up and be disciplined. That's it. And then I just trust that would give me the profits. I'm back. I should be back. If you sleep after 8 p.m. Red Bull, it's called ADHD. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. But I don't know. ADHD is like, everyone says they got ADHD, so I beat that shit. I told myself I don't have ADHD. Next day I didn't have it no more. Because you can just say you have ADHD or anything, You go on your phone, scroll while trading. I got ADHD. It's just like some excuse. Unless you actually have ADHD. Don't drink Red Bull is bad for you? Yeah, no, I drink like once every while. I drink whenever I see Max. Like he's part of Red Bull, so when I watch F1, I'm like, I look at the Max car, and I'm like, yo, he has a Red Bull on it. And I get inspired to drink about Red Bull. Do you withdraw from Blueberry? Yeah, I do. I withdraw monthly profits. So every month I withdraw 30% of my profits. So last month we made like 3,400, something like that. I withdrew 121.57 just to keep it a habit and then be consistent. So but in percentages, right? And then maybe over time we would decrease that percentage, but I think for now 30% is pretty steady. So I withdrew total of this account 664. over the last year. And I've made 1.791 total. And the current balance is 2001. So yeah, if I didn't withdraw anything, this account would be at what would that be at? Like 2.7, something like that. No, more. Yeah, 2.7. 2.7. So yeah, roughly, like for me at least, like 15 to 30% depending on the month. I think same as before. Yeah, they don't accept US clients, so you gotta find a different broker or a futures broker. Max and win this year. I don't know. I thought Alonso had a good chance of winning this, not winning, but doing a lot better this year. But I heard they're like not racing the full race in Australia or something. Yeah, Ferrari is quick. They have that DRS wing that just flips. Might be Ferrari's year. Might be Leclerc's. I have a Leclerc jersey. It might be Leclerc's year. Maybe. Hope Antonelli does something. Top 3 at least. I like Antonelli. Antonelli. Who else do I like? Max. I like Piastri. I like Bortoleto. Yuki. Who else do I like? Alonso. Carlos Sainz. And that's it. Do I still play volleyball? No, it's been a while. I haven't touched volleyball in years. Yo, you're moving up here. You see this shift up? A little bit. It's still the same as this. Still a little bit the same. Similar movements. So nothing too crazy yet. Let's see if you can get a back-to-back pop up towards 5139 here. Maybe you might. Tapped off 5119. I don't know, what did I get 5119 from? Where is this? 5119.32 is off of the 1. I don't know where I got this from. I think maybe the 1. Forgot. But yeah, you rejected off of that area. So still not moving, huh? 400 pips. Yo, just sit down, grab a beer, smoke some weed and relax, or do whatever you want to do. Pop some edibles, be sober, snore a lion, take a needle, whatever you want to do, man. Just relax. Drink some water. That is not relaxation. I don't know. I never touched. Oh, that's why his car is vibrating so much, because the engine have an issue. Aston Martin, right? What the fuck can I pull back down? I'm about to crash out. Don't crash out. Trust me, don't crash out. Don't crash out. No crashing out. Don't crash out. Nothing to crash out over. You have a leg counter here, so maybe you might come back up again to retest the highs of 5139. Yo, when you're in the range, don't touch it. Wait for a price to move. All right? When it looks predictable, it is the least predictable. Wait for a price to actually break out and do something significantly different. When it's in the range like this, don't touch it. Right? Do not touch it. Wait for it to break out. Wait for it to retest. Wait for it to continue. Wait until it's actually predictable. Is it predictable right now? No. There's nowhere it wants to go. It's in the middle of the range. Don't touch it. Right? Let it move 450 pips, 600 pips here until it's actually predictable. All right? Why are you yelling? I'm just trying to get it in their heads, you know? Trying to make sure you get that down pat. Let's see though. Let's see what happens here. That was some good liquidity or a good lower high, right? So let's see if this could continue down here, towards 80, or maybe you still need a top wick. I don't know. Nah, he don't hate you, bro. He love you, man. He love you, bro. All right. This is, oh, nice. You're actually moving now. Okay, so this is still continuing, right? Below 96. Okay, so now look at the volume, right? It's a little better. Let's see if we can get a pullback and retest, a pullback and rebreak of those would be nice. So if you can pull back up towards, I'll say here, 97, and then come back down and rebreak the lows, we can get a sell stop or market X in the rebreak. I would want to see this come up though. If not, then it looks like this range might be missed for us. And we can look for more ideas below 76, right? But I do want to see if this can pull back. Maybe not that far. Maybe just here. 50.94. So 80 pips. Nothing too bad, but enough to say that if you come up towards there and the 5 flips bullish, then GG's. All right. So it looks like we didn't get this right area here, right? That's fine. See how it's glitching now? A lot better, right? A lot cleaner. Okay. So let's see. Below 76 it is. Same thing. We have a lot of range here. So if we couldn't grab that range, it's okay. Next area is going to be down here at 50.38. So let's put this down here. 50.38, 32. What is it? Here, right? So yeah, let's see. Below 50, we obviously couldn't get below 76 to 58. So the next thing is 58. So let's see if we can break below there, right? But it looks like it's starting to break out and move. This is the most you've moved all week so far, I think, or the last 2 days. So still got some range. Just break below 58. And then we can look for something here. 58 is here, right? Yeah, 58 is around that minor zone there. So that's the next area. Because this can still come up and correct, right? This can still come up. This is the first breakout. But see how this is pulling back? If it were to reflip, that's more information. That's more structure. So get ready here, guys. We could get trades in the next 10 minutes. Next 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. You have a huge leg, not leg candle, but a wick fill here. This is a leg count down here, but that already got filled. So I'm guessing there's something here that we could use to our advantage, right? 51 or 41 below 58. Let's see, can this break? So it took a little longer to kind of come up and then come back down. So probably second re-break. See, below 58.89 here. So here, this is what I want to see, right? You want to see this re-break the lows, pull back, you have a wick, and then the second re-break, right? So not this first one. The first one, let it drive. But the same thing we're looking for over here, we'll apply it, same thing here, right? So just copy and paste the same play. And then I think at what point does it get very bearish directional, right? So it's getting close. You have a heavy area at 74, but I'll say once it breaks below 20, it's pretty directional bearish. You can look for wick entry sells. So what that means is like if it just continues driving, any first pullback could be wick entry sells, and that's nice too because that's wick entries for one, and for two, it's gonna be very directional after that, right? So just be patient. First move, I know we've been waiting all day, right? But continue waiting. Your move will eventually come. Let's see, actually, can we get a wick entry sell beforehand? 50, what I have? 50, 94. Yeah, there could be. There could be, but I think it really comes down to if this comes up within one motion. 96, 94 zones. If you come up to where it's there within one motion without like creating higher lows up, you don't want to see structure up. You want to see constant pushes up. Then 50.94 could be a wick entry sell. But you would want to see this come up without creating structure, because if it comes up with structure, then as you come up, you can still correct this entire thing back up to the top of the range, right? So if it comes up, you want to see just this and then this, and you're expecting this for a higher low to continue down or a higher low to continue back up. But at least you can have this range here, which is still like 170 pips. So let's see. How far is this? 160? Yeah, 94 could be something here if you get a straight pop up. $104 more pips. Yeah, same lot size, 0.04. They were using the same stop as earlier. Okay, close. Let's see. Can we get one push here? Almost 60 pips away. Get ready here, guys. Could get it if it pops without pulling back here. You don't want to see this retrace, though. If it retraces, it might be GG's for that play. Is this it? Hovering. Slowly making lower levels. Let's see. Still not steep about a pullback. Should still be okay. Just need a pop, though. How far are we? That was 50 pips away. Still okay. If you come down towards like here at like 79, that'll be GG's, because then that's your first initial reaction right there. That would have been 80 pips. That's your play. or if you break this low here. Let's move it up. We have a little lower high, higher low there. Let's move it up a little bit towards nice 613. Create a little bit of structure, nothing too crazy though. So I'll move it up by a bit to nice 613. And next level after that is gonna be like I think right here, 104. The 1 hour flip area. Maybe we can get wick entry sells. Yeah, just as you said that, we had the idea. What's the difference here? 83. All right, so pay attention to how this comes up, right? Again, one consistent motion up. Otherwise, if it's like slow and creating structure, I'm gonna move it up towards 104. But right now, nice 6 should still be valid here. Can we get a pop? If this if you flip here down towards 85, then I'm gonna move it up. If it's not on this push. Okay, it should still be good here. Can we glitch? 60 pips to go. And then in case it's quick, let's say we get a 104 entry, BE is gonna be 100, so roughly 40 pips in profit, which will start moving stops to BE, and then below there we can start trailing. If it's gonna be nice 6, then I'm assuming this would be BE around here, right? 9-2 tap. I mean that would have been our BE zone, but so you broke the lows here, so I'm not gonna use the nice 6 anymore. That was close. That was maybe 37 pips away. But yeah, this is a higher low, right? You don't want to see that. It's okay as long as you move it up though, right? Because you're expecting a higher low to create a steeper high. So I'll move it up towards 104, right? That's my next zone now. 5104 is gonna be the next wick entry sell zone. So one motion, if they continue pushing up, and then 100 is gonna be BE. All right, so that's gonna be like break even, 29 pips in profit, and then below we'll start trailing, and then TP will probably place it down here at like 1245, maybe down here if you want to be extra aggressive for 160. I mean, you can be extra aggressive, put it here, but like, you know, there's zones on the way down that could stop it. Maybe we'll do 50.78. We'll try that. That's still like 270 actually. Yeah, but that candle right here. Don't talk about buys. No, I'm talking about. I was looking at the wick entry sells at 104. And also, if we can't get the wick entry sells, we can always get the continuation. Continuation of sells below 50.58, right? Because then this is like your lower high, and then below there you get continuation. At that point, it'll look pretty bearish. So same ideas as earlier. This was like an idea because you started pulling back. So I was like, maybe we can get the wick entries. But it looks like you rejected. how much is this pullback? 106. Let's see, what is this gonna be? So no longer is 96 or any of that. This is the 4-hour flip. If you break back into this range, that'll be a range fill. I don't think I'm gonna have a zone above 105. I don't think we're gonna have a zone above 104, because if it starts breaking above 104, then that's like you starting to fake out back into the range. So if it's one motion up towards 104, sure, but if it does the same thing as earlier, where let's say it comes up towards like a 101 and then pulls back for 551 and then it pulls back, then that'll be it for the wick entries. That'll be the idea. So you can only move it up to a certain extent until it becomes like a breaker structure, right? Then just the whole thing reverses. So we couldn't get this, right? I think it tapped 94, which we had originally one of the zones too. But due to it just like coming close like this, 1, 2, 3, and then fails to tap it, and then creating higher lows coming up, I usually would move it, right? So this wouldn't be something that I would have got, but you corrected it. So let's see, can you come back down below 58 now, right? So if it's not the wick entries, it can be continuation. And then let's see, what do you have range until? 5107. 5032. Yeah, below here. $68.32. So let's delete this. I'll leave it as this. You're looking for sells? Yeah, just looking to see if this is gonna be continuation. I wouldn't say we missed anything. There wasn't anything planned. There was like things that were close, right? Like wick entries, but there wasn't anything there I could have taken. There was a drop, right? There was also a drop earlier, but that was a little before we hopped on. This was a 550 drop, but we had nothing planned there. We're looking for continuation below here. So none of this was what we were looking for. Explain the continuation. Yeah, continuation is just like continuation. Like these are lower highs now, right? So you had a couple here coming down here. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs here. If you start breaking below 50, 68, creating structure and all of that, that should be continuation down towards 32. That's the next destination, right? So we just went on the higher time frame, look for the next zone. It showed 32. And then we have all of this range to take advantage if it continues. We don't know if it's going to continue, right? We don't know if this is going to correct still. But you did have a nice top wick here at 119. So I would imagine our top work here, this should continue below. But it's not going to be like a sell stop on the first break or anything, right? We'll probably let that re-break. And then from 56 to 32, you have 230 pips. So you have all of that to take advantage of. Yo, we got 346 viewers, 93 likes. Let's get to 150 likes. Everyone hit the like button. Maybe 100 likes will get a trade. The market will bless us. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. At a piece tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. We still have 30. I think 30 minutes here. We'll see how 10:30 looks here. See what the hell happens here, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Oh, we hit 101. W stream. If I buy, I don't think we're close to buys yet, but I gotta see. I gotta see if we buy, it'll probably be somewhere above like 41, 5144. So, I'm assuming stops can be. I don't know. I gotta see. I gotta see how big stops are gonna be if we come up there. Swing positions? I don't have anything for swing. I don't. You know I don't swing, John. You know I don't swing. When was the last time I took a swing trade? Like a couple years ago? No, I don't have no swings. But above like 5139, that's when you start to break structure. So I'm assuming above there you'll get a better idea. If you were to reverse here, you don't know yet, right? You're still kind of guessing it's gonna reverse here, because this is still coming down. Yeah, I haven't swung in like years. I read 100 likes, gold. Where the movement at? How much is this? This is 470. You break the highs. Maybe a wick entry sell, because then that fills. Early we had wick entry ideas for here, right? But this already retraced. That was removed. We missed it by I think 20 pips there, 35 pips, something like that, right? But yeah, you retraced 200 pips. So if you were to re-break above 50.94, then you're gonna have this range fill, right? And you don't want to take a wick entry sell when it's filling the range, because when it fills the range, you can just fill it. So then the re-break of the highs, which is the top wick area, will be like 5143, which could be a wick entry. So it's just really far, right? I mean, you gotta push up quite a bit. That could be an idea for later if that does come near. And then continuation below 50.68 if it continues, but it's just kind of been hovering here. But yeah, 51.43 could be some. And then above 51.43 is also buy ideas too, if you were to shift back into the range above there. How to identify key zones? Use like look left and then look for like major zones. I think the hard part is like trying to figure out what zones are important or not, right? So don't like apply too much pressure on like figuring zones out, but just like grab an area that you want to focus on. Like grab a section you want to focus on, right? So for me right now, I'm looking at, you can use this. You can mark up these two areas here. Something here, right? This is like the resistance. This is like the next support. And then on the small time frame, you go with that. And then you're just looking at this from like you're combining your zones with like overall structure. Like, okay, on the higher time frame, how will things look now if it were to tap into this zone at 5211, right? At that point, you can see right here that if this were to come back up towards 5211, this would now be a higher low for it to come up, and there's a chance that above 5211 can be continuation to correct the rest of the move, because this could be a higher low, right? It looks like something's stopping here for now. If this were to reject, which it did, 50.56, come up, retrace, come back down to rebreak, then that's your continuation. Below here, you can look for a continuation of ideas. So then you go on a small time frame, and then you put like 2 and 2 together. But to start, like, you don't need to have too many zones, right? For me, it's just like 2-3 zones usually. and then I go off of that. I think it pushes down heavy as soon as we get off. Let's see. There, 25 more minutes. See what price does here. It's not pushing up too fast too, right? So the retracement isn't too quick. This could not even be the move of the day, right? Like it's 700 pips still, but it hasn't been too like directional in terms of price action. So you don't want to be blinded by pips, right? Like this move like 600, 700 pips, but you want to look at structure. Like how did it really come down? Like this right here, if you look at it, it's still kind of not that consistent, right? You kind of just came down, pause, range, came down. Like it's not really too directional. Still within the ranges. So you can still get a move that's like a lot bigger than what happened today. But we can only be on for so long. What's up, Wall Street Sniper? No tunes, man. I'm gonna get copyrighted. Can't. Okay, so yeah, 3rd minute channel here. Wick fell. Let's see how fast it's gonna come down. So far, picking up a little bit. Let's see, still got 140 pips to go. What's up, bye, Fabian? A broker would recommend for someone doing trading? What broker would you recommend for someone starting doing trading? I think it's like location based. So maybe search up brokers in your area. Type in your broker and country, or type in trading FX broker and country, and you'll get something. See ya, man. What up, Jordy? Jordy, can you take some positions so we could move? You said sells. I don't know any. Put some volume in the markets, man. Let me call a market maker. Go ahead, man. do something. Isn't Jerome out of office this month? Or did they extend his contract? Or is it May? I know he's getting replaced. Me, I'm from Canada. Canadian born. Jerome retiring? I don't know. They never tell us what's really happening, right? They're just gonna say they're replacing him due to him not performing well or some shit. I think they want him to cut rates or something. But yeah, I don't know. I heard he's coming out though. Can you recap? Yeah, just a 4 hour structure. So I go on the 4 usually, and honestly, any time frame would work. Because when I think of a stop loss, I'm thinking of like, at what point is this trade gonna be invalid, right? So I would imagine I'm in the opposite trade. When would I look for a buy, right? So for me, above like 5226 would be my buy. So if price were to make its way up above here, at that point it's bullish. So my stop loss would be here, for instance. If I were in a sell. Actually, no, it might be. I think it was like somewhere here. Where is it on the 1? I'll use like a wick. Yeah, like right here. I'll use the first wick above the range. I wouldn't use this though, 5226, because you can close above and then you can still get like a fake out. Right? And then this can continue down. How many times have you seen that? A lot of times, right? There's no top wicks in these ranges here. So you can still kind of get that and get a correction. So I wouldn't want to use this. I would manage though. Like if it closes above that yellow area like this, and then it closes bearish, holding the zone. Yo, can I? Holding the zone like that, and then it comes back up to break. Then I'm gonna use that as my management. I'm gonna get out there. But I think of it in the opposite. Like if I was to look for the opposite position, at what point would I take that at? So you gotta make sure you're very consistent on those two things. Like very concrete and precise with like where you're looking for ideas at. Or else you won't have a consistent stop loss strategy. You're just gonna use whatever you feel that day or whatever looks, decent that day. But you want to make sure it's consistent each time, right? Consistency is like everything in trading. Consistency in trading your stop loss and managing your risk, break even areas, like marking your zones. Like you want to make sure you can repeat those things over and over, not just like get it done today and then tomorrow you can't do the same, right? So you want to make sure you can do that with whatever conditions there is that comes in the markets each day. No, it's up. I'm opening it. I'm gonna open it again. It's open to join, but there's no chat in it right now. But oh damn, Jordy, you might get your thing here. I'm gonna open it up. Give me some time. I just got back 2 days ago, so I'm trying to figure things out. All right, but I got you guys. Why is chat so slow? Because you're not talking. I think everyone's just like either done waiting for a trade or they're just calling it a day. Yeah, I'm usually on till 11, so after that I'm off. So you just protect for that fake out. Yeah. Basically, like, I just ask myself, at what point am I going to be looking for buys at? So that stop loss changes, right? Because like the amount changes, but the strategy stays the same because conditions change. So then you just adjust your lot size after that to how big the stop is. I guess I'm involved at 11. Yeah, at 11, what I do is I set a session stop loss. So same thing as yesterday. I come on, mark up my zone, and then I'm just like, okay, at what point is I'll place the zone, and when it taps that zone, I'll call it a day. $15 leg candle again, maybe. Let's see. Do you usually only look for sells? No, I'm looking for buys today. It's just that like until like 5,181, I don't know. It's still within the range. You see this range here? It's still within this 1,200 pip range. So the directional wise, it's still gonna be a struggle, right? You haven't had direction maybe since like the 3rd, 2 days ago, on Monday, and that's when we also got that trade on Monday. But yeah, I think above like these areas would be more so when it starts to somewhat get more bullish. Here it can still be unpredictable, right? You can still get this massive move up. Here's the thing too. Remember I told you earlier, guys, about your brain at a certain time of the day gets used to conditions, and then you start to like lower your standards for trades. You would like at a point you look at today and you're like, wow, those moves were fast, right? That must have been the move of the day. But if you look at it, you zoom out, you look at it, it's like you can still get a 1-2 pop correction. Like you can literally still get this for the day. It takes 2-3 candles to correct this entire range because it came down very slowly. If this was to be consistently bearish, it would have, you've had a pop, continuation, and continuation, right? But it took like a couple hours to come down. So it's not as heavy yet. That's why, like, for continuation, we want to confirm below 50.68. But you can still get a correction just as fast. And that's why if you do get a correction just as fast up towards 5143, that's my wick entry sell. First initial reaction, though. If it's not the first initial reaction, above there for buy ideas. But I think that might take a lot longer to come. Because you got to close above, sell down, all of that. Right? But this is still considered in the range. It's not that fast as it seems. What is this? Yeah, you'll be alright, bro. You'll be good. You be alright, man. Just believe. What's the reason behind the leg candle? We started looking at it a couple years ago. Just a way to read structure. I thought that really is a leg candle. Yeah, you have one right here actually. But yeah, just a way to read structure. It's not really like anything different from what we've been doing. Just the micro movements in the leg candles what we're looking at. So like a leg candle would be like this. Something like this. All right, so if you have a leg candle looking like that, usually you'll get continuation down. But what we look at on a small time frame is the micro movements, right? So what happens is usually would come down towards the body area, reject, or range here does whatever it wants to do, re-break the lows, pull back and hold, and continuation. And then our sells would be like usually below here, right? So we're looking at the higher time frame leg candle fill, but on the small time frame, we're looking at just structure. So lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, continuation. Yo, why do you put that caution emoji? Once this 15 flips, what's happening? Yeah, let's see, man. This thing is just not moving. Not moving. What do you guys rate today? I think today I'm gonna give it like 5.5. I think that's pretty fair. We had one idea. Wick entry sells, and that was it. 5.5, I'll give it. I think better. Yesterday I gave it a 5. Today is a little better, but could be a lot better. 2 ideas, 3 ideas, I give it a 6 usually. 4 ideas, I give it a 6.5, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. That's like 7, 8, 9, 10 ideas, but we don't really get 6.5 out of 10 that much, or we don't really get 7 plus. You had 3 trades. Nice. Yeah, I had none today. I think the longest we went was like a week without a trade. I think it was this week. In like February, we had 8 trades in February, like only 8. So very limited. But yeah, we went like I think we went that entire week with no trades until Friday. And then Friday we had 1 trade that made up for the last 2 weeks. Here too. Oh yeah, that was Christmas though. Yeah, like 4 days of our trades the most. Am I doing this right? Hourly flipping? Yeah, I see here. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Let's see. I mean, yo, we get a wick entry. That would be kind of insane because that would be unexpected. It's like 500 plus pips. You gotta move, but it will be a runner though. I'm assuming it will be something. Give you like maybe 120 plus. This range alone gives you like 200, so we can probably put TP, yeah, around 160. You gotta move up quite a bit. So yeah, pay attention to how it comes up here, right? Like if you used to see that you correct this move faster than you came down, that's how you'd know that wasn't directional today, right? That move down from earlier. Because looking at price action, it's just, it wasn't as consistent. So if it's consistent up, then that's how you can tell. But I don't think anything happened today. I think it could be a bit better. No, Hezzy, no. I play iRacing. iRacing at LMU. It's 5 a.m. here. You're from Asia? 5 a.m. No, you're not from Asia. You're from No, not from Europe. That's ahead. What's backwards? Oh, Australia. In it, mate. Yeah, let's get to 150 likes though. 11 p.m. here in Thai. Rule number 1, close always when you take the assets. True. True. Let's see, could it be continuation? So you have a 1 hour close here. Yeah, so it's gonna be 11. Let's see. Maybe this can correct it faster than it came up here. Let's see. These are very important areas right here between these zones. I'll say between here and between maybe here. Very important area. Over under if we're gonna move today after we hop off. What do you guys think? Over under if we move after we hop off. I think under. I don't think it's gonna move when we hop off. I think when we hop off, the markets will freeze. I think yeah, I think under today. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna move. Some days I'm like over. How low of a time frame do you catch yourself looking at? All the way down to the minute. I look at the weekly, the monthly, all the way to the minute every day. So mom, you see me just flipping throughout the stream? Subconsciously flipping. Every time I'm flipping, I'm just looking at something, like trying to see like structure, how it makes sense of all the time frames. But yeah, minute I use all the way down to that. I wouldn't go lower than a minute though. I never thought I'll go to the minute. I think at one point we moved to the 5 and everyone was like, the 5 minute done? That's crazy. And then we moved to the minute. It's like, what? And everyone got used to the minute too. But the more time frames you look at, the better for your catalyst and analysis. What's up, Jay? Oh, chat, we're moving here. So 1 hour closure. Hey, 39 pips to go. It could be doable. This move here was actually pretty decent. Let's see if this can continue up here. Let's see. Or you get a correction back down, right? It's in the middle, but this blue range is important. I think once you start breaking above here, it gets a bit interesting. Maybe a little higher here. But yeah. We'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll place a session stop loss for the 1 hour candle, and then we'll go from there. See if we get something today. The time frames, yeah, structure and just yeah, close, like, yeah, structure, I'll say, main thing. But you don't want to lose track of the higher time frame. Like, you don't want to look at just the small time frame. You want to even it out the higher time frames. Like, get the full higher time frame picture, and then use the smaller time frame to see how you can get there, right? So for me, like on the 4 or on the 1, it shows or maybe 30 and 15 here. It shows like there's something at 5143. There's no top wicks in these areas here. So if you were to come up, that's the next resistance. And I use the mint to see like, okay, how fast are these candles driving, right? So far I'm looking at this, like this is a pretty decent drive. Is this going to be a faster drive back up? If it is, then we'll start anticipating ideas. Or this too. But yeah, you want to like use both. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. We'll be here next week. Dude, this here. If this forces do my matches login. Oh, they applied that already? I didn't know they applied that. Yeah, we can't use Zoom. Like I would use Zoom, but Zoom is. I think people share the Zoom link. I can only do it with the role, which is Discord. How come you're back? Unless you're Addy. All right, let's see what happens here. 1 hour opening is yeah. I mean, I want to see if we can break this. See if we can break these highs here or anything here. Maybe I'll move this up a little bit too. This is be a bit more. I just used your drive method and it worked. On what pair? Not this pair for sure. What pair you use it on? Be yawning. What else is tomorrow? I think tomorrow you have retail sales too at the same time as NFP. So it's a little bit of both. Yeah, I just got back. Let me get settled in real quick, okay? Give me a couple weeks, and then we're gonna figure out the whole community stuff afterwards. Just trying to settle in here, and then I think by April we'll be rolling. And we'll figure stuff out. Let's see. So look, this move coming down was a bit better than this move coming up, right? Corrected a bit of it. So same idea still. Below, you want to see the continuation below 68 here. So let's see if you can make your way down there. So pay attention to the way it comes down too, right? Like how fast these pushes are. Very important. And I think we'll start placing a session stop loss here. Let's see. If you flip bullish, we'll place one at this low. I think for the session stop loss to go down, I won't place that yet, in case it just does flip and just rip up fast, because it's starting to pick up in volume here. But yeah, I'll leave it as this. All yapping, no action. Hold on, I'm trying here, you know, I'm just waiting for price to move. Yeah, man, I just want to see how long we'll be doing this for first. Okay, this is slowly coming down here. Still pretty slow. I think if we, yeah, I think if we start breaking below 71, I'll just start placing the session stop loss above 104, because that will come down like 360 or 330. And if it's not direction continuation and it flips, then that'll be GG's. We won't be here for the continuation back up if it comes up. So let's see. Let's see how fast this push is. Like, see how it's starting to pick up a little bit. Let's see. And see if this can glitch straight through. And then I think below 68, it shows. Below 68, it shows like next range is going to be maybe a lot lower. I don't know if it's going to be 31. It could be 5,003. So you have all of this range to come down towards that zone there. 5,006. Right? This is kind of like a doji. I don't know how heavy this would be. We could use it though as something, but I'm not too sure how heavy that would be. I think 50.45 is pretty fair. But yeah, below 59, we can look for something. If you make your way down there. Let's get rid of this. This, we'll put it down towards 5,006, right? So around there. And yeah, we'll see. Very key thing too, I think once it breaks below, same thing we applied earlier, right? Wait for that to break. It's not going to be the first re-break of lows. We'll take the sell stop or anything. But once you break below, and then you kind of like come back up and pull up towards 68, maybe a little lower, maybe 60. The re-break of lows could be something, right? But I want to confirm that this is going to continue. because this would be considered the first breakout. So 2 things it needs to do here before we even get an entry. And yeah, I think we'll just place a session stop loss here because I don't know how long that's going to take if you flip towards 5143. So this came down so far 300. Oh, if it breaks above 5105, we'll call it a day. Cool. 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 I don't know. I wasn't born with it. I wasn't born with it. WJ. Did you have any trades yesterday? No trades yesterday. We just watched price. It was pretty dead right yesterday. Today could be something. We got potential here. Coming down the second time. You might get some unexpected news here, maybe. How many trades you guys got today? Nine, 3, 1 break even, 1 runner. Up 560 pips today. That's like 50 pips, bro. It's light work. Today's conditions. So like, a couple trades today for everybody. See, there's 15 those. Caught pre-NYC and pineapples. Pre-NYC. Oh, 9 to 9:30. Very nice. Very nice. W, Mr. Potential. No, drink coffee. It's black coffee. Always coffee. Oh, I can do a poll here. Yo, I can switch to a members only live stream too. Start Q&A. Start a poll. Ah. Price. Let's see. Yeah, see that? Oh, I can actually run a poll. Wait, hold on. I'm getting some activity signal in my brain right now. This might be starting to glitch. You guys feel it? You can feel it, right? I can't be the only one that feels it. You might get a glitch here. I can feel some signal brain activity going on over in here. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. If it glitches over, it should be able to break below 68 here and drive heavy. Dog asking for food. Probably wants to go pee pee and poo poo or something. That's the rental dog? Yeah, I have the rental dog right now. Don't do members only, Don. I'm not gonna do members only. You think so? You didn't get that signal in your brain? I felt it for a second. Like, I'll give it another 5 minutes here. Chat. I think for real though, if we don't move here for another 5 minutes by 11:25, I'm just gonna call it a day. We'll hop off. But stuck here. We're gonna get DJ session. Maybe. I don't know. I'm scared of getting copyrighted now. I wasn't scared before, but now I'm a little more scared to get copyrighted. I don't want to get. I already got one strike. Ever since I got one strike, things have been going downhill. So I don't want to get another strike. I don't know why like I can't just play music and then I just pay the people. I pay the J people money. Cause like that's what it is, right? I pay the labels money. Like I'm fine with doing that. You can take all my revenue for a stream. Let me play music, but they just kind of give you a strike. Yo, signal. It's working. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. 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 Wow. Okay, so a little bit of volume kicking in. Let's see. So you tap in 68 again. Let's see if we can start pushing below 68 here. So same thing as earlier, right? Like you want to see a break below 60 ideally, but if you get a break below 660 and then pull back towards 68, the rebreak at that low, right? But the second rebreak, not the first, okay? I mean, you could take whatever you want if you see ideas, but I need a confirmation that this isn't gonna be like a fake out still. Yes, I still need confirmation. Yes, I know it moved like 100 million pips today down. Just get in. No, I have to wait for that confirmation or else it's just not my trade. So we'll see what we can do here. It's starting to move though. You need another push like this though. And our session stop loss right now is gonna be 5105, but I'm just gonna start trailing. Let's just move it down towards 559.6, and we'll keep doing that as the session goes on. I wouldn't say this is a glitch. This is kind of short-lived. Let's see though. Maybe you respect the highs, it can be continuation, but that wasn't what I was sensing. I was sensing a lot more than that. Like I was sensing like you gotta drop towards like 43 and such, right? Like glitch, 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 glitch. Not just like, you know, slow, slow on the way down. Or maybe it's coming late. Let's see. Can you glitch here? You gotta move 70 more pips, 70 to 100 pips there on the rebreak. Yeah, something here. We can place a TP around there maybe, or it could be a BE zone there. Something could be there. And then something else is here too on the way down. At 55. Could be a BE zone or something. The rebreak this low down there is 40 pips. Could start trailing below there. TP could be here. Yeah, maybe. That's 140. Gotta push though, 80 pips. Okay, so I think I'm gonna trail my stop loss, my session stop loss down again. Let's move it down towards 50, 85. Because if it's not this move, then I don't know what move it will be, right? Kind of spend some time ranging and trying to figure out where I wanted to go. Yes, put 85% on the pull. What if we don't hop off? Yeah, if we can get in before 55, that would be sweet. There's a chance you can push through this range once you break below the lows, right? But I need that to break. And then pullbacks can be like to here, like 6-7 zones. 6-7, 6-8, once you tap, once you break the lows. Though not too consistent on the way down. Oh fuck, I'm muted. Sorry guys. I was saying like I was saying below 59. So you want to see that re-break the lows, which it kind of did, and then you want to see a retest of 6-7, right? Which you kind of have. So if this can come down in one motion, could be a re-break. But if it's slow, like if it takes some time to kind of come back down and it's not one clean motion, then second re-break, which is more so below 5-5, right? But this like barely broke, right? So volume isn't consistently there yet. It's still kind of like struggling on the way down too. And we have a session stop loss placed at like 50.85. So if that breaks, then we'll call it a day, which is the 15-minute flip. So nothing yet, but a little closer. But yeah, you have a lot of range. Like technically you have range until 5,006. It's just like you want to take one range at a time, right? So the next heavy zone is like 50.44. And then below there should be clean. But these zones here are just like this 55 zone. I think it's just like my BE zone or something where I want to manage risk at. But you have a lot of range. You have a lot of range. It's just a matter of price and drive. How long is that muted for? I didn't really say too much. Are you guys ready in sales? No. We're waiting for price to show that it's actually bearish. How do you know if I for a live? You hit subscribe and then you hit the bell button. That candle, yeah, I'll explain in a bit. This thing's moving right now, so we might get something. Let's see. Yeah, I need someone to do timestamps. Somebody want to do timestamps for the stream? If you want to do timestamps, just do timestamps and post it in the comments. I appreciate it. Ready? Get ready. So that was a nice glitch. Yeah. So yeah, same thing. We couldn't get this right on the rebreak. So this is fine. If this can pull back towards like 59 zones and then re-break the lows of 55, we can look for something below 55. If it taps 50-60, right? You want to see 50-60 probably. I just use a minor zone. And then on the way down, we could look to manage risk. Like here could be a BE zone. And then trail stops would be below there. Oh guys, give me like 2 minutes. Hold on. Hello? Sorry, guys. I had some guess. Yeah, it looks like he didn't move, so I think gonna be GG's. I think that's it, guys. I mean, we have potential, but like looking at this move down, right? It's still like very slow. So even like all of this here too, like you're looking at it, it's like 760 pips. You're probably thinking that was a nice move, but I think over the next 2 days, pay attention to the way it corrects it. If it even corrects it, but if it does correct it, it should be a lot faster coming up, and you'll see a huge difference in price today versus whenever. Right? But tomorrow's NFP, so more volume, more news. Retail sales and NFP at the same time. I'm not too sure if it's gonna give you a spike off the bat, but I think overall the day should give you volume because that's like 2 folders that bring in volume. And then we'll just yeah, we'll go from there. Well, so I'll see you guys tomorrow though. NFP. All right. So we'll be here in the morning at 8:15, 8:20. Before NFP, do my analysis, and then we'll see what we can do tomorrow. All right, yo. That's it though. Sorry guys, I was kind of doing something, but yeah, I don't think I was kind of scared. Like, yo, what if it starts like glitching and I'm not there? But luckily, nothing happened here. All right, but as for the rest of the session, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. It could start ranging. I think it's gonna range, but I could be wrong. And if you're looking for trades, though, be patient, wait for your setups as usual. And yeah, we'll see what we can do tomorrow. All right, everyone. Have a good Thursday. See you guys tomorrow. Peace. There, everyone. Peace out, Discord. Yeah. Yo, I can't get copyrighted, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.